Graham crackers are pretty good. Went onto the internet last night. Huge mistake. You could probably have guessed that, but discover something. Apparently, when playing the remastered Oblivion game, which I'll boot up real quick. Hang on one second. There is a weird thing where you have to change settings in the main menu, not in the gameplay menu. Oh, it's going to be real weird because I have it set to full screen. Hang on one second. I'm not going to be able to see chat. But this guy was like, yeah, so what you do is you go into options here. And you change your settings in here instead. So you want to go to windowed mode, full screen, 1920 by 1080. VSync off. Frame limit uncapped. You want to turn motion blur off, which it is. Screen space reflections off. Then what he did was he set not the quality level, but the view distance quality to high, effects quality to high, foliage quality to high, shadow quality medium, which is fine, global illumination medium, texture high, reflection high, post-processing medium, hair, where are you? Medium, cloth quality medium, lumen hardware off, then lumen software RT quality low. It is, okay. Upscaling FSR instead of DLSS. Mode set to balanced. Sharpness apparently 100. Frame generation on? No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave this alone, actually. We're going to ignore this. We're going to go with regular DLSS. It doesn't say anything about the NVIDIA Reflex, but this reduces input latency at a little cost of frame rate. Yeah, we'll keep it disabled. We'll see if everything other than using what he just said actually improves the frame rate outside. Now the problem is, because it's full screen, dude, apparently there is like way more control over character creation than I thought. Well, yeah, it just started. Well, I was going to say, well, yeah, it just started. That's not why. This stream has been downhill for years, bro. Well, that's kind of crazy. I still don't have Path of Exile 2. Whenever I actually get around to getting it, me and you are going to have to play because that will be fun as shit. I love Path of Exile so much. The problem is, your first time, a couple times through playing Path of Exile, you basically have to use... Well, you don't have to, but you'll have a better experience if you use online guides so you can familiarize yourself with, like, the ability tree and stuff. Once you familiarize yourself with your characters and the things you're able to do... Let's see. Still just have a 60 frame rate. I mean, it's playable, but on a 3090, Jesus fuck. This is crazy. So if I go back here and I do the FSR thing like he recommended. Right, so what he did was FSR, balanced sharpness 100 and on. Apply changes, escape. What I will tell you about this is, yes, my frame rate is higher, but now I have input lag. Because the generated frames aren't predicting if I'm moving the mouse. That is wild. Oh shit, did I break the game? Dude, why does this game run like shit on... Yeah, I don't want to lower the frame rate. Why does it run like shit on a 3090? I still don't get it. Also, look at the input lag. Do you see how long it took the menu to come up? In case you're wondering why I brought the menu up, I brought the menu up so that I could undo pulling this arrow. I'm pretty sure in Skyrim you right click. But dude, the optimization is so bad. And I see people playing without issue, and it does kind of confuse me a little bit because, like, fucking how? How are people playing this with a smooth frame rate and streaming it? Unless you've got, like, absolute top-tier hardware. And no offense, it doesn't look that good. You guys might not be able to catch it, right? Because you're locked into 60 frames a second. So the input lag is now gone, which is nice, but the frame rate, even though it says 70, it dips all the time. Anytime I input anything, it dips. Just a little bit, especially mouse movement. Mouse movement absolutely fucks it up. And the thing is, you feel it. What's up, Aptris? You really, really feel like there's... Ooh. You feel like there's input lag, kind of. And the reason why it feels like there's input lag is because the frame rate drops if you quickly move your mouse. Only outdoors. I am trying really hard. So there were some suggestions online after us about how to improve it. And it uses frame generation with FSR. And it does. It increases my number. The thing that gets me is when I run it and you guys can't, like, I pressed escape like fucking 5 seconds ago to bring the menu up. The thing about using FSR is the lag still exists. The lag is still there. So this hides the lag. If you use frame generation, it hides the lag. So it looks like I have 110 FPS, right? And the video playback looks a lot smoother. There's a problem with this. It's that the input of my mouse, you guys can't see this, but I can feel it. There is huge input lag. And the reason why there's input lag is the frame drop problem still exists. Frames are still being dropped, but now the AI is generating those frames. In those frames, my character is moving in response to my mouse. So my movement is only getting updated however many frames per minute. Say it drops to 20, right? My movement is only being updated 20 times a second on screen. But it is generating 110 frames or whatever. It's generating the extra 90. So what it makes it feel like is it makes it feel like the worst mouse smoothing you have ever experienced. That's what it feels like. It feels like you have mouse acceleration and smoothing on, and you've just cranked that shit up a million miles. Also, hitting escape to go into the menu, right? I can try that. The problem is that it's 165 hertz. See, It can't match my refresh rate. It cannot match my refresh rate because my refresh rate is 165 hertz. Yeah, look at that. I'm glad that worked for you, but this actually feels worse. Now it feels like there's even more input lag. All right, I'm going to say when I escape. Oh, that's crazy. I go into my screen's refresh rate and lower it. What I should probably do instead is cap the refresh rate. If I cap the refresh rate, maybe it'll have a similar effect. Which it didn't work. Oh wait, yeah, it is now. It is a lot smooth. Well, then it jerked. Man. The number of steps you have to go through to get Oblivion to run decently is kind of sad. And I see all these people playing it like there's no issue. Do people just not feel that? Because that's the problem. It's the game feel. I'm not like one of those guys who has to have all his settings on ultra and I don't have to run everything at 240 hertz. I can play a game at 60 hertz. That's fine. As long as the 60 hertz is consistent and I don't have input lag, right? I don't want to move my mouse to shoot a thing and then 2 seconds later, the cursor move on the screen. You know what I mean? It feels bad to play. And I can't imagine it being so unoptimized that a 3090 can't do it. I am considering actually refunding this game. I'm considering it. I'm considering refunding Oblivion, which is a bummer because I want to play it so bad. But it feels, and instantly, dude, instantly inside, wonderful performance. No issues, dude. It feels amazing. Fuck off.
Oh, what's the matter? Is the baby gonna cry?
Dude, I'm gonna fuck you up. The performance is great. The performance inside is awesome. It feels really good. It's already too late. I'm pretty sure I've gone over 2 hours already. Yeah, I already thought of that. I am about 100% sure I have gone over my 2 hours already. So I'm hoping that I'm at 1.9. What does that mean? Yeah, 114 minutes. Fuck, man. So, no, 2.1 hours. 2.1. It's too late. I was hoping they yeah, it just didn't update. I had a feeling because I didn't update those settings last night because I was thinking that. I was thinking, oh, I need to update settings on stream and get it going really quickly. Yeah, that sucks. I don't know what to do about that. I don't understand why it runs so poorly. Yeah, here's the thing though, like I want to try and make it work, which would require more time investment, which would make it less likely that I could refund. Do you see what I'm saying? Like I don't want to refund it right now because I want to play the fucking game. Do you understand where I'm coming from here? I want to play this game and I want it to work. But it doesn't work. Listen, I don't want to get in an argument with you, Alfred. You have a real bad habit of doing this devil's advocate shit and annoying the fuck out of me. Stop while you're ahead. Don't do that. We don't need to play devil's advocate. If you don't understand what I mean, just say you don't understand what I mean. I want to play this game as though it were in working condition, but it's not in working condition. And there's nothing I can do about that except maybe wait for an update. Right? So it's a damned if I do, damned if I don't, because I want to play the game, but the game doesn't function well enough for me to play the game on a 3090, which is absolutely batshit crazy. Like, yes, I guess I could refund it and then buy it again later after they do an update or something. I don't know.
Every single time I go to the Coinstar, it's not working. And I go to the Coinstar, and it's not working. Every single time I go, the Coinstar is not working. Every single time I go to the Coinstar, it's not working. And it never works. I've been going to this Coinstar. Every once in a while, I go to the Coinstar, and
I don't think I could sit through 4 minutes of this, but I get the point. I get the point. It's like sending me the definition of insanity speech, right? You keep doing the same thing, expecting results to be different, which fair enough, right? But I've had 2 sessions, I think, today's session and yesterday's session on this game. It actually makes me think they should update their refund policy, because I feel like 2 hours is not enough. The entire intro is like an hour and a half long. So you don't even, it's almost like they knew they had performance issues in the open world. And they're like, oh, we're just going to make sure that they don't see those performance issues until it's like right on the verge of refunding. You know what I mean? Because, man. Oh, well, I don't know. I'll sit on it. Maybe they'll do an update. Yeah. Well, so there's got to be a better solution, right? There's got to be a better solution in general. Like, you should take the average completion time of a game and then a percentage of that. And I know that it's possible because if you use Xbox Game Pass, it'll tell you. It uses the how long to beat figures. So say you have a game, it takes 40 hours to beat. You play 2 hours of it, get a refund, fair, right? If you play, say, a 2-hour game, right? And you play an hour and a half of a 2-hour game and then refund it, that's not fair because that's 75% of that game. The problem with percentages, though, is hyper fast games, like hyper quick games. Say you have a 20-minute game, right? And you play, I don't know, 5 minutes of it, right? That's a quarter of the game. If you set the bar as, oh, you're allowed to play 20% of a game and decide on a refund, right? The problem with the hyper short games is you might not realize until halfway through the game that you don't like the game. You might get through 10 minutes of a 20-minute game and be like, yeah, I actually don't like this. I want a refund. Which, fair enough, because there is a certain amount of time. So, like, you could technically cheat the system and make a game that's a minute long that they can never refund, because if you use the percentage method, say it's 20%, right? 20%, or let's say 25%, it's easier to figure in seconds. That's 15 seconds. So by the time you get through the opening cinematic of a 1 minute game, it's done. You can never. People definitely game indie titles, though. I've heard of that. That is actually a problem. I don't know why that's... I can't imagine being the guy to do that. I cannot imagine being that guy who just refunds indie titles over and over. Do you know what I mean? Like, why would you do that? That's such a dick move. You paid $3 for the game, my guy. Why are you refunding $3? It's $3. I just created a new desktop on accident. What the fuck? Whoa, hey, actually, that's kind of cool. Except I don't see you guys anymore. Where are you? You're over here on desktop 1. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know I could do that. But yeah, I'm on the fence about getting rid of Oblivion because I have like this hope that they will improved performance can't play Oblivion on 3090 because of performance issues. After I up my NVIDIA driver's up to date, I think. The NVIDIA app, please. Let me see if my NVIDIA driver's up to date. Is this running the fucking NVIDIA install? Dude, the Windows 11 search is awful. It is so bad. This is so much worse than the Windows 10. It is actually objectively worse. And the reason why it's objectively worse is, like, I can give you a good example. Labs. Okay, it actually shows now, right? Labs is a piece of software. Hang on. I'll hide me. So Labs is a piece of software. It's a synth that I have, right? I did this the other day, and the best match, the only reason why this shows is because I went into apps and I scrolled through a bunch of shit. It was recommending the Labs installer and a search for LabCore. It would not show me an application that was installed on my machine. I can't. Yeah, I saw the trailer for Doll's Nest. That's not my vibe, dude. That's too weeby for me. Not trying to be like an ass, but it is. It felt very. As soon as I saw the da 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 da, I was like, oh, this is not my vibe. It's not at all. Which is kind of a bummer because the environments do look cool, but it's just not my vibe. I mean, I'm not about to buy it again to test it. There was nothing. I didn't see anything there that I was interested in. And I'm genuinely not hating because everybody has different tastes, but I genuinely did not see anything in the gameplay or anything. I don't buy games just for environments, and the environments look good, but that's not enough. There has to be more to it that I personally would enjoy, you know? And I didn't see anything there that I vibed with. So it says there's a new GeForce Ready driver. This is probably going to crash stream. Do you guys care if I bounce out for a second, get this driver, and come back? And then we'll test the game again. We'll see if it works. Maybe I can get it to work. Maybe I can actually... Maybe I put everything on low and just play on low until there's a patch.